And welcome. We are Multiverse Pros, and we are so excited to be able to be a part of Wyvern Gaming's beta test for their new Stargate RPG. First of all, we want to say thank you to Wyvern Gaming and CEO Brad Ellis for not only a fantastic response, but also letting us explore this universe on our stream. If you like what you see, and for more information on the game we're about to play, please check StargateTheRPG.com for information and updates. A little birdie tells me that a Kickstarter will be launching soon. So I also need to say, any images of the Stargate you see are owned by MGM, and the maps you'll see utilized have been purchased from 2 Minute Tabletop. Much of the character artwork you see is taken directly from the core rulebook provided by Wyvern Gaming, with some supplemental art and photography pulled from National Geographic. My name is Elena. Here at our virtual table, we have Bo, Chris, Corey, and Jade. Without much further ado, let's begin. Welcome to Stargate Phoenix Command. It's been 6 years since the installation of the Stargate program on Earth, searching the galaxy to assess threats, open communications with other civilizations, and procure technology for the advancement and defense of Earth. And this mission, Stargate Command, also known as the SGC, has made many advancements throughout the years. Phoenix Command was established with the understanding that it was necessary to have an off-world base that would allow for better cooperation between alien races and establish a training program that would allow for those species to grow and thrive against the galaxy's threats. As we meet our cast of characters, we come up in the debriefing room. It's a stark underground facility. Phoenix Command has furnished this room with all the tools needed to report back after a mission is complete, as will be expected each time our team returns from off-world. At the head of the table sits General P.K. Lawyer. He is in charge of Phoenix Command. Also at the table, Colonel Stephen Majors, unknown to most of the PCs at this time. We see also Buddy, a captain in the U.S. Air Force. We see Captain Clarence Dude Dune, as well as an Unis named Brada and an Aturan specialist named Guy. As we are introduced to them, I would like each of our player characters to introduce themselves, give a little bit about their background, not much, because we really want to be able to explore the most interesting part of our characters' lives, which is the journeys they take through the Stargate. And so let's start with Captain Buddy.
So I'm here from Earth, military background. Nothing too crazy, that I need to go on about. You guys know.
At that, Colonel Majors gives General Lawyer like a look. Captain Dune, introduce yourself to the team.
Hi, I'm Captain Dune. I'm here for the team. I'm here to help the team survive and not die. That's it.
All right. I guess let's hear from you next, Mr. Brada. Was it? We don't.
Brada. My allies have taken to calling me Bra. I'm a little better spoken than most Unas you may meet, thanks mostly to the work here. I have been versed in other languages. It is a pleasure to meet you all.
All right. And I guess that takes us to you, Guy. Was it?
Oh yeah, hey, I'm Guy. Nice to meet everybody. Y'all are real serious around here, aren't you? Anyways.
Yes, this is a military setup.
Yeah, it's pretty extreme. I mean, not a lot of smiling. It's okay. We'll get there. So I'm from Matura. Maturan. Pretty much like to chill with the plants. Mostly, it's a lot of people for me. Not used to this many people, but just here to help out how I can. If you get hurt, I'll be able to help with that. And I'm not gonna like fight stuff though, because I'm not cool with that. I mean, I learned from the Nox Like, it's not cool to, like, I kind of avoid fighting, but I'll totally help out however else I can.
When you say that, the colonel looks towards the general. You're putting someone on this team who won't fight? And suddenly you guys hear over an intercom, incoming off-world activation. Sirens go off, but no panic seems to be on either the general or the colonel's faces.
Y'all see that? Is everybody else seeing that too, or is that just me?
Sir, is that standard protocol?
I see it for sure.
The general, it's normal. I know you guys are new to Phoenix, and
Normal.
welcome. Anytime an unauthorized wormhole is established, we have sensors that detect. The computer program automatically initiates so that we can be prepared. If a code is received through a GDO, the colonel will explain that a little further in a minute. Once that signal is received, we know it's all clear and that it's not an incoming threat. And if you take a listen, you can hear it's silent again, with just the humming of machines. That's pretty standard from what you've seen in this underground base. That being said, the general looks to the colonel. Colonel, now that you've met your team, I'll give you an opportunity to let them know about the mission that's at hand for their first foray into our program. For a couple of you, this won't be your first time through the gate. For our captains, well, let's just say you're going to have an interesting time the first time you step through that wormhole.
Yeah, it's a wild trip, man.
With all due respect, sir, this whole thing has been a wild trip. I was debriefed about this situation a day and a half ago. And
welcome.
Her head's
Is it
spinning.
gonna
With
make
that-
me like throw up?
With that, the general kind of steps back.
I would never.
Well, you'll be kind of
And-
like cold when you get out a little bit, and like it's gonna be crazy the first time, man. You'll see.
With that, as the general rolls his chair back and begins to step up, you do see the colonel stand and go to attention. Captains, you would know, as part of the Air Force, this is
Damn.
something that you should do as well.
Oh,
He gives you a salute, at which point you are all able to sit again as he leaves the room. The colonel flips open a manila folder in front of him. All right. For you guys, including the...
I have some concerns about this. As the general was saying, we have a pacifist and I'm sorry. What is the purpose of this?
Well, as you know from going through the Stargate training program back on Earth,
Yesterday, sure.
yeah, it usually takes a few more months than that. I'm not sure how you got through the program so fast, but maybe it was a recommendation. Who knows?
I got told to come here and I got a day and a half of briefing. So sure, this all just might as well happen.
Well, this team has been put together by a psychologist who thinks that based on your profiles, you should interact well together. I'm
Right on.
going to be very curious about how
Hey,
that
we're gonna meld. It's gonna be all
works.
good. It's gonna be chill.
But
Sure. All
we'll
right.
fight for two people. It's fine.
You know, listen, if you get hurt, I'll just help you out. And then if you need to fight, you can do that. If you need to, you should know.
all right, here's
Are
what's
you
going
a
to happen.
doctor? Do you have medical training?
I can
Avoiding
definitely help you
nuclear
out when you get hurt.
essential.
That's what I'm here for.
All of you stop. And he's got his hands up and he looks irritated. I'm the colonel. I am currently your commanding officer in this situation. You will look to me for guidance and for
Yes, sir.
information. Until after this meeting, when I can make a determination about which of the captains will be taking charge of this team. Until then, you are on a probationary term. Is that understood? Depending on how this mission goes, you either will or will not continue in this program. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood.
I mean, I might want to go back to Atura. We'll see how this goes. I'll let you know. I'm trying you out.
All right. Now, to answer your earlier question, Captain Dune, the purpose of this is to seek out new technology, new allies against the threats we face. Currently, our biggest threat is the Goa'uld. If you've only been briefed on a quick day and a half.
Yeah, they're the bad guys,
Briefly.
man. You don't want to mess with those guys.
What you don't understand is that the Goa'uld have been slowly and systematically taking over the galaxy. And in fact, have previously enslaved hundreds of thousands of the Tauri, or Earthlings, people from Earth, to use as slaves for labor and to convert into what is now known as a Jaffa, which is a whole other subsect of society. You guys don't have any on your team, so you don't really, you'll learn more about them as they come. Or, you know, if any of our two alien compatriots have dealt with any Jaffa or
I
Goa'uld,
know about the Jaffa. They're pretty cool.
well, they can tell you about them later.
They're pretty cool.
Now,
All
our
right.
mission today is
A little violent.
relatively simple. And he takes a look at his folder, and he kind of reads through it a little bit. He doesn't want to speak before reading through it as much as he can. You can tell that it does kind of look like he knew what was going on and what was going to happen. It doesn't quite look like he read through of this as much as maybe he should have, if that makes any sense. But more that he was more curious to see the team than much more than General Lawyer had told him. As he looks up, he says, all right, we'll be going to P9X490. The early probes show signs of settlement and civilization. We haven't sent a team through yet. That'll be you. We will be making first contact
Whoa.
with whatever civilization we might come across.
Awesome.
However,
All right.
Exciting.
interesting to note, the probe saw some abnormalities. There was a large structure not too far ahead of the gate that seemed old. There was old. I am not a archaeologist or any of that. I'm not going to try and tell you what civilization it's from. Not my strong point. But we do know there's some sort of technology. We just don't know how advanced. So we'll want to be very careful in making our first contact.
Did the
The
structure
other
react to the
abnormality,
probe?
what was that?
Did the structure react to the probe?
It did not. The other abnormality, we did see some sort of bodies. They look, well, looking at these pictures, I'm going to tell you, I think it's a Jaffa. But we won't know until we get there. So we're going to go through on high alert. Be ready and wary as we approach the gate. Now, the fun part. And he stands up, at which point, captains, you would know as a ranking officer, you would want to stand. You don't necessarily need to salute, though. You would stand.
I salute anyways. He's in charge.
I just
So-
stand.
Which would allow you to go back to a resting position. Follow me. We're going to go get our equipment for loadout. We leave in 0300 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah,
I say that to Guy and Bra. That just like that's a lot of hours.
He shakes his head at you, knowing that you're being sarcastic. And as he stands, he walks to the door.
I'm still trying to figure out what hours are, man.
It's an accumulation of minutes.
Yeah, we don't have those.
You guys don't have time?
I I mean, we
It's
have got
crazy.
time, kind of, but like not hours and minutes, though.
Well, do you know what a second is? Because a minute's just an accumulation of seconds.
You see, like,
Well,
in Dune's eyes, their life is just like flashing and questioning everything. What did they do wrong?
generally we use like the
Is
orbit
this a
of our
punishment?
of
This
our
feels like a
moon.
punishment.
We live on a moon. We use our orbit of the moon around the planet to really gauge our time.
This was a punishment.
Different.
I shouldn't have punched that guy.
It's all good though, man.
mean,
I'll figure it
I can
out.
get you a clock.
An hour
Colonel-
is like hours like how long it takes to eat a nice big sandwich, right? Or
Yeah, it's
like
a
a
pretty
really
big
really big
sandwich.
sandwich though. Like
That's it might be a digestive problem sandwich if it's going to take you an hour to eat.
I heard y'all got ones that are like a foot long.
I hear there's gear. Let's pack this up and let's get ready. Let's get our specs on, sir.
I'm excited to go through the gate. I agree.
We should bring a sandwich.
Thank you, Captain.
Sure.
If you would
whatever.
follow me, I can take you to the armory.
I get up and
equipment.
scoop out whatever pamphlet, whatever stuff I was
You
given on the
each,
table,
he would.
and I load
You
up.
each see that in front of you. There is a manila folder with information. There's not much in there other than the planet distinction, the P9X490, and then some photos that the MALP, the probe, has taken.
That looks like a Jaffa. Better be careful.
I look at it briefly and then I follow him, paying attention because he's in charge. And I don't want to get in worse trouble than I am in now.
While following, I wanna eye the picture of the structure. See
Okay.
if I might be able to discern.
Yeah, I want to get like distracted looking at the stuff in the folder, at the pictures and stuff.
Okay. For anyone who, while walking, make me a history check for the humans and an investigation check for the aliens.
I got a 21.
Yeah, that's a natural 20 there. So, Brada, you've not seen this before. It is an unfamiliar civilization or period time. You do see there are some things that look familiar, but you just can't place it. There's something that just don't know yet. Same with you, Guy. It's familiar, but there's something you just can't place, but it's close. Buddy, this looks Norse. This looks Nordic in its inspiration. And dude, you would see the same. It definitely looks Nordic, Slavic in its Icelandic, something like that. Which to Buddy, immediately it clicks with you. This is a civilization that has some sort of technology that looks similar to what the Asgard have placed on other planets. Buddy can surmise that this planet might be considered under the Protected Planets Treaty.
I would like to relay my what that thing you just said. Just gonna go and voice that.
So it's similar to the hammer I've heard about.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we can go through there and end up getting
Hang on, did I just hear somebody say something about the hammer? Thor's hammer?
Buddy had mentioned
What's
something
protective
about the structure.
planet?
Oh, a protected planet. So there's a. Do you ever remember on Earth hearing about little green men or little gray men?
Yes,
That's-
they were a
the
myth.
Asgard. They're pretty.
That's
chill.
the Asgard. So they actually have gone around pretending to be ancient Norse gods for a while.
But they're
now.
good, but they're cool though. They're good.
Oh yeah, no, they're. So the Protected Planets Treaty is they essentially have.
They like lying to people. Primitive civilizations for funsies.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah,
So
help
as
them.
long
Yeah, help them.
as these planets fall under a specific parameters of a treaty that the Asgard have made with the Goa'uld. These planets are protected from harvesting or anything else by the Goa'uld. So it's worth noting. It's also very interesting that there are Jaffa bodies at the foot of this statue.
Yeah, that would be like a violation.
So as he leads you through all of these winding corridors. It's very geometrical in the corridor shapes. There's a smell that's just a smell of technology and underground that kind of permeates the air. Like, it feels like you're being led a little lower. He does lead you into an elevator, swipes his access card to take you down.
I hope this planet's got some trees, man.
From your investigation check, you see in the picture, there are trees. There's also a lot of coastline that you see. It looks like the gate is on an island of some sort.
It's going to be great to get outside.
So as you step out of the elevator, he continues down the corridor, eventually coming to a stop outside of a door where he, again, swipes his access card. As the door opens, you do see a massive armory where it's sectioned off. He gestures for all of you to enter. All right. This is not a long mission. We are expected back after 8 hours. If we don't check in after 4, they'll send someone after us. Or, well, let's just not go for or. So each of you grab a bag, load it up with the following. And he waits for each of you to grab a bag.
I'm going to grab a bag and start loading up basic standard essential supplies.
Yep.
Some rations, some water, some rope.
So essentially, you all will have the following: a tactical vest and 3 uniforms, 1 day's worth of MREs, which is food. Not tasty, but it's edible.
They're better than people
Brada,
think.
you love these MREs. These are delicious, Brada.
I eat them.
These are
they are so good.
Fine cuisine.
There is a combat knife. However, captains, you will know that you actually get 2 each, as is stated in your inventory currently. Each of you will pick up a TACCOM, which is a walkie-talkie type system that would allow you to communicate with each other, so long as you are in a certain range. You'll each pick up a flashlight, a water purifier, so that way you can purify any water on planet of toxins or other anomalies, a filtration radiation mask, just in case, a multi-tool kit, aka Swiss Army knife, a personal first aid kit, extended climate protection clothing, which is just in case, like, basically it's if you happen to find cold weather, it's a coat, essentially, a combat tent, and a sidearm, a 9mm Beretta. Captains, you each get 2. He loads himself up, equipment as well. All right, team. Do you have any questions regarding equipment? Do you have any special requests? Anything? Do you have anything you need to go grab from the room you were shown earlier, Brada and Guy? Do you have anything special you want to grab?
I grab rope.
Guy is looking in the barrel of the Beretta.
Oh, the
Kind
captain.
Ooh,
not.
Immediately, the captain immediately takes that out of your hands. Make sure it's not loaded. Checks the safety.
What's going
You don't.
on?
You don't. You
Point it
will.
at your face.
You will never touch a firearm again, ever.
What was that thing?
You will never. No, that is what is called a gun.
No.
With the
You
little
will never
dentures?
have access to those again. Yeah, very dangerous. That's
Well,
why
I don't
you are
want
not
it,
having
man.
one. That's why
Yeah.
you are no longer. Yeah.
Somebody wants
basic-
this too, and pulls out the combat knife and is like.
Why don't you just
Yeah.
put that down? Why don't you
I
just
take his combat knife and I put it in my pocket. I have 3 now.
Okay.
Brada, do you have anything you would like to retrieve from your quarters, or Or are you just going to stick with the basic supplies that have been offered?
I would like to grab my blade.
I got my med
so-
kit on me. Sorry. I meant to
If
say
you
that.
tell the colonel that he will allow you to lead the way while the team follows, and then they will stand outside your quarters while you retrieve what you need.
I do. I tell him that and head to my quarters and grab my blade, which I keep on a display next to the cot that I lay on. I will say my room's completely bland. It's just a bed, a table
Yep.
with my knife on it, nothing else.
Makes sense. All right.
Nice setup. Classy.
Thank you. I like simple.
Classy.
All right. Once Brada has exited his room, the door has shut. All right, team. Now the final step to loadout. I will take you to the changing areas. I'll show you both to the men's and the women's. Back on Earth, there's only one changing room, and we have shifts before and after meetings. Luckily, they've installed one for each. It's great. Makes life so much easier. No waiting, no back and forth, no sitting
Yeah, I
and
imagine
stinking
so.
while somebody else gets first shower. All right, follow me. And he leads you back towards near the armory, but it is closer to the elevators. As he directs you in, here's after briefing. Here is where you will come after you return your supplies to armory and everything for checkout and check-in. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
Got it, man.
Understood.
In that case, head on in, get changed into Stargate Phoenix uniform. Please make sure you're loaded up with your tac vests as well as everything. Brada, Guy, if you need help figuring out how to make sure your TACOM is properly installed as well as anything else,
I think
Talk
I
to
got
Guy.
this, man. He's got the vest
I
on
mean, talk to-
backwards. He's got his head through the hole
Buddy.
in the arm.
you
Sounds
guys are
good. I
standing
turn
outside.
around and I go down.
You guys
for a
are
shower.
standing outside. You are not in the dressing rooms yet.
I'm just putting this
As-
vest on. This is how it goes, right?
Buddy, Brada, you seem very competent. If you could help him, and he
The
will
zipper goes in the front.
usher all of you into the changing rooms.
Zipper.
Dune has already gone in there and she is changing and ignoring this all. She's just like counting down. I mean, 3 more months till I can request a transfer. I mean, it doesn't seem that long, but I've counted down longer. I can do this. Don't punch superior officers anymore. Got it.
Did either of you
Okay.
think that Clarence would be a guy?
You know what,
When I heard
man?
the-
I've seen a lot of things. I really don't know your Earth name, so I didn't know what to expect.
It's a long name.
She seems pretty cool,
Yeah.
though. Seems like she
I
could kick
guess.
some ass.
I guess you would be the two to not ask about a name being weird.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, your name's Buddy, right? That's kind of. I mean, is that really your name?
Yeah, it says it on my name tag.
Yeah, okay.
Can't put a fake name on a name tag. That's like against.
I guess
that's
you're
like
right,
a war
man.
crime, I think.
Mine says Guy. It's nice to meet you, fellas here. Like I said, I'll try to keep you safe. Try to keep you healthy.
As he's mentioning about keeping us safe, I want to make sure that his uniform is going on properly.
All right,
Helping
make a
him in any way
make
I
a
can.
make a perception check. Yeah, he's got his pants on backwards. He's not used to, he's used to pull up pants. The zipper is weird. The
It's
vest
pretty
is just
comfortable,
flapping
man.
open in the back. It's like he's got the solid part on the front instead of the zipper.
See what you did here? You can just zip in the back when you need to, works.
That's not the way it works.
I want to say Dune has already finished her shower, all of her stuff. She's dressed and she's in the waiting area at rest position with her clothes and her setup completely done and ready. And she's just at ease waiting and being like,
Oh.
I bet it's going to take him like solid 10 minutes to finish.
Correct.
I'm gonna be here a while.
The colonel is standing next to you. I don't know.
We're just
how-
We
quietly
hear us
making
come out
eye
later,
contact.
like this.
We're just like, how fucked is this
Oh,
team?
okay, good. That makes.
I'm going to
sense.
have a struggle keeping them alive, aren't I?
All right, we figure it out eventually, like 15 minutes later.
Yeah, I would say about 15 minutes later, the three of you now exit.
We still haven't spoken to each other. It's just quiet eye contact of like, no.
All right. Now that we have our gear, we're in place. Let's head down to the gate room. We are scheduled to leave in the next hour. I don't know how all of this took this much time. This usually takes 15 to 20 minutes, but you know.
I timed. It took 45.
This is so uncomfortable.
I heard him talk about pants for 10 minutes.
This
You'll
can't
get
be
used to
right.
it.
Are you sure it doesn't
No,
go the other
you-
way?
You are, this is what it is supposed to look like,
Oh gosh,
guy.
it's like I'm being crushed. Ah.
All right.
I come over to him and I make sure the straps on his backpack are all nice and secure.
Ah.
And they're just a little too tight
Hey,
now, all
man.
of them. Like,
That's
I make sure
worse.
all of his straps are in
That's
place.
worse. Oh,
Good, safely
this
secured.
can't be right.
I double checked the other two guys, but you guys are
Really
fine.
can't be
He
right.
just needed.
The Colonel Majors just takes off. He's just walking. He's not even, he at this point, he doesn't even care if you guys are following him. He's just walking. If you follow him, he is in fact leading you towards the gate room, where you will wait until it is your turn. There are no other teams scheduled to leave necessarily, but they will make sure there is a waiting room and a timeliness that is followed, because if unscheduled off-world activations exist, chaos exists. This is again a military base, first
Colonel,
and foremost. Yes,
I'm gonna
Captain.
say I come up behind him afterwards, and I've been standing at rest. How many other teams do you have in this base? Just wondering.
Outside of yourself, there are 9 other teams currently
Active?
active. Correct. There are formations for multiple others. If for any reason this team does not work well together, and well, obviously you all have met some sort of standards, I'm not sure what they were, to be placed on a team in the first place, but
Man, I heard that. I can do stuff.
I'm sure you can.
Yes.
But there are 9 other teams. You are not our flagship team. You are Phoenix 10.
Eh,
Excellent.
that's the best one,
That's-
right?
that's
like
reassuring.
The top, like the highest.
If for any reason any of you need to be reassigned, well, you'll be reassigned and a new member will be put in place. I will be here for the first mission. After that, whoever I deem most capable will be considered team leader.
Gibbs.
You know what? I bet it's you.
Captain, there's no dibs here,
I
but
bet it's
good,
you, buddy.
good call.
Hey,
Good
buddy. I bet it's you. You could do it, man.
You have my alliance, buddy.
Before we step through that gate, captains, be aware. You've stepped through it once to get here. So you're aware it is mind-numbingly chilling. You will feel
Yeah.
it to your bones.
Is that why we have the coats?
No, that's
It
not
wears off
why you
pretty
have
fast.
That's for other area. I don't think coats help with the chill of the
It
gate.
goes away pretty fast.
So be prepared after you step through. You might need to take a couple moments to reorient yourself. Make sure you look at your surroundings before making any actions. Again, this is a first contact scenario. We want to do our best. If there is a civilization on the other side that has had contact with the Asgard, it is also important that we not try to dissuade them about the Asgard being their gods. It is very important. Most of the time, those civilizations don't have the technical understanding to be able to move past. Also,
Right.
honestly, it's more helpful for
Seems
them.
like a hassle.
It's a thing. Like, honestly, trying to explain it. I was on a mission once back at the SGC where someone tried. It was not worth it.
I
It was
feel
not
like
worth
it's
the
a
headache.
lot
Yeah.
of headache
Yeah.
and struggle, and it's just not worth it because
Yeah.
no.
Not worth the headache.
Let's just let them have their thing, man.
All right.
I'm not here to judge
which
anyone's
point-
weird religion.
You will see the gate does begin to whirl. And with each symbol that is locked into place, a light appears at each corner, each portion on the gate. When the final symbol is locked into place, the symbol at the top, a massive, almost flood-like, it looks water almost, rushes out of the gate before settling back into a crystal fluid blue surface. All right, team, let's load out. At which point he begins to walk up the metal gate tread, the metal tread of the floor that leads up to at a slight incline up to the surface of the gate. Anybody want first honor?
I'll take first step, sir. I'm gonna go in brace, and I think I pick out one of my guns, and I have it at the ready position just in case.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna
Am I
stay
gonna-
with this big guy.
Go through.
I
You
point at-
feel, as you step through, you feel a pull where everything has been broken apart, and you are literally dissected to molecules, and it's this whoosh, and seconds later you step out on the other side. You see before you, it's idyllic. It's a beautiful place. Do the rest of you follow?
I'll go in next.
Follow behind the big guy.
As Brada goes through, though, he tries to look not threatening, more of like he's just arriving with a presence. So he just holds his hands and kind of just goes through.
Okay. The colonel.
Dune is still in the ready position. She's like got a gun down. She's like ready. And she's looking around, just being real
The colonel looks at you, buddy.
watchful.
Okay, I'll
gonna
go.
go?
I know what that look means. Just walk through nonchalantly.
And he'll follow behind. Dune, as you've come through at the ready position, you see coming through, stepping through, first Brada, then Guy, then Buddy, and then the colonel before. Whoosh,
Oh,
and now the portal is empty. Now it's just a circular ring that you can see through. If you were to put your arm in, nothing happens. It's just empty space. You see before you, it's a small island, but it is absolutely beautiful. There are trees,
yeah. man.
water, and there are 2 bridges. So you find yourselves here. Next to Brada is the dial home device, or DHD. Ahead of you is in fact a stone pillar. It is Nordic in origin, as determined earlier. At the base, you see the bodies of what looks like 2 Jaffa soldiers. On the bridge to your right, over here, you see one on the bridge, as well as what potentially looks like another island where 2 more bodies are placed. Looking out over at that island, you see amongst the trees and the sand crumpled ruins of what could have been a temple. To your left, you see a bridge and another small island. Past that, yet another bridge. I would need everyone to give me a perception check. Brada, easily in the distance, this behind you through the trees, you see the inklings of a civilization, of a village, a town.
There's a town off in the distance.
What happened to these guys, man? I want to check out the bodies and see if I can.
Can we examine the bodies?
You can.
Were they killed here or
Let's
just
see if I
placed
can
here?
figure out what killed them using my medical background.
Give me an investigation check. Guy.
Right.
All right, guy.
Oh,
Enough with the
Hey.
natural 20s.
I've
Okay.
seen this before, I think.
While you haven't actually seen this before, it's very easy for you to see that these Jaffa were killed. They were killed by something that has left little marks on their exposed skin that you can see. One of them seems to have some sort of corrosion to their face that has completely blocked the symbol, their Jaffa mark. Dude and Brada. No, just dude.
No.
Dude, you see on the forehead of one of the ones in front of this pillar a very mysterious mark. It is not one that you've seen in any mission reports that you were able to go over in the day and a half. It is unfamiliar to you.
Okay. This is a non-standard Jaffa mark.
This is not one that you have seen in any mission report to date.
All right. I'm going to point it out and point it to the other people and be like, this Jaffa had a weird mark on his head. Is this standard? I did not see any in any of my briefings.
What's the mark look like?
Like a skull.
I don't know what System Lord has a skull as their sign, man. It's supposed to represent who they serve.
I'd like to make an insight, see if I might have heard or seen anything.
Make an insight at disadvantage.
Oh,
I try to figure it out too.
Also at disadvantage.
All right.
It's literally just a
Yes,
skull.
Gate Master.
It's a skull, Rada. Cool skull. Cool skull.
I do like the design.
It is a pretty cool looking skull.
Guy, again, the Nox have pretty much made sure that you guys stay off of the radar of the Gould. They don't have much in the way of teaching about the Gould. So even with that 13, you know that these are Jaffa. You know that this is for a System Lord. You have no idea which System Lord. You can't place it.
No, man. I haven't seen anything like it. But I do these injuries.
Cool.
If I point out to them what I saw about the injuries, it's like they have like perforations in their skin and like different. Suddenly he takes on a different, very medical, very scientific tone. See here, it looks like they were pierced in this area, and this one has some abrasions on his face that seem to have scratched away his mark. And he goes into a detailed description of.
And
what's going on with their-
as you're looking at them, you don't see any necessarily. If you see piercing, it's a bite of some sort. The corrosion is some sort of an acid.
Gotcha.
The marks look more like something was gripping it.
Right. The puncture kind of marks here. I point out. So does there any indication with my roll of what could have caused something like this?
It's not a creature that you have ever seen before, but it does look like it's probably aquatic in nature.
Maybe something out of the water got it, man. Looks like it got maybe a beast of some sort. We got to be careful.
Can I look around for tracks? Sometimes you can, from the tracks, get like a scale or a mobility. Like you can see how big it is.
Looking around, I'll use your 20 investigation check. So the only footprints you see on the land are the footprints of the Jaffa themselves. It looks like whatever
Okay.
attacked them came from the water.
And do a survival since I have a specialty in that, and I'm a nature guy, and try to figure out if there's something in the water, if I can see or have any indication further.
You can.
All right. And I have the background of I should have advantage on this, I believe, because I'm a preservationist. So let me see what it says. Gain advantage on any intelligence or wisdom check to identify the property. Well, never mind. So that doesn't work here. But
Okay.
20.
So again, this was a monstrous creature that came out of the water. You can't see any indication that it's there currently. You're not sure why or how it attacked these Jaffa.
No, man. Seems like the water probably should be careful around the water.
We're surrounded by water.
Maybe it was the water itself that attacked them. Maybe it's sentient water. Did you guys ever think of that?
You just stab the water, man. I wouldn't do it.
Not until
though.
now.
Oh, Captain, you got a mind like nobody else's.
It's true.
No, you gotta think
A thing
outside the
with
box
wonder and
sometimes,
beauty.
man. I've read some of those reports. You got crazy shit happening.
Why don't we head towards town, see if they've heard of this before and knew these Jaffa?
Wise advice, Captain. All right, let's head out. Weapons down. We do not want to come across as a threat.
These Jaffa came to the wrong planet, man. You know, the Asgardians like to protect their own.
Do you think these Jaffa could be native to this area?
Seems like they probably came through the gate, man, and got taken out, I bet.
The mark is unfamiliar.
Either way, let's head towards
And
town
it's a
and
skull.
question them and find
That
out.
can't be good, man. I mean, skulls are
I mean,
cool.
maybe they serve Skeletor. Let's go.
Maybe they
It's a
are
Skeletor.
like
Let's ask them.
All right,
Not familiar with that
Red
system.
Harleys or something, man.
Skeletor.
the colonel is going to fall back
Sure.
and take the rear position as we travel. Who would like to take forward, or what is our marching order?
I'll take forward on this unless somebody wants to. I'm trained in diplomacy. It is best when
I'll
meeting new
follow
people
right
that I
behind.
take point on this.
Stay right beside him and help, because I got survival training if we're trying to find our way.
Brada knows pretty clearly the direction of the village, and it does look like there's pathways.
I'll stay in the back then.
I'll go
puts
third.
Buddy in the middle. All right. So as the group travels forward, you cross the first bridge. Nothing interesting happens. As you reach the second island close towards the mainland, I would like everyone to roll a perception check for me.
Can we say I'm observing and keeping watch? Because that's why I've still got my weapon out and stuff.
Nice.
I notice everything.
Not nice.
All right. Buddy and Guy. In the distance off to the north, you do see what looks to be a rustle of the trees. But it does seem to be moving away from you.
All right, there's something moving that way.
It is heading towards the town.
There's just people telling other people we're here. As long as you don't look intimidating, we should be fine.
Is it big? Do you see something
Trees were
big?
moving. I'm not sure what it was.
It's a rustle. It doesn't look, I mean, it's not like the top of the
I
trees
think
by
his
any
name
means.
was Russell.
Should we call out to them?
Russell!
Nah, they already know we're coming. They're just the
I
townspeople.
think that's what happened,
So what
man.
I
They're just
said.
kinda, like reporting back on us. Well, let's just be chill then. Everything should be good.
Speaking of after hearing him mention report back, I'm reminded that we're supposed to report back within 4 hours. So I do want to set my watch for 400 hours.
Can do.
Hey, you fighting guys? You
Solid.
gonna use anything off of them dead Jaffa over there? I mean, you got anything I want? Check them.
I'm perfectly well equipped. Thank you very much.
I mean, they look pretty well equipped. I guess we're good. I don't know what kind of stuff you guys like.
I don't like taking from dead bodies too often. It just seems kind of,
I don't need any.
especially, I mean, how long have they been there?
They
What
don't
if it's
really
like all,
need it anymore.
Robbing the dead is dishonorable.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're gonna care, man.
I'll do what's necessary to stay alive, but I'm fully equipped now. There is no
They're
need to take it.
Jaffa. They don't have any honor.
They may not have been voluntary Jaffa.
You never know, man. That's true. They could be good ones, even. Never know.
I am not equipped for this conversation. Let's just keep moving along to the city.
They're definitely not using any gear they got, man. So, I mean, if we comes down to starving or taking their rations, I think we know what to do.
We have plenty of rations, and
For
we're
one
not going
day.
to be here for that long.
Let's hope. I've read some of those reports, man. I'm with you. Let's go.
All right.
Thing closes down, same formation, I guess.
As they walk off, I'm gonna quickly rifle and see if I can find any extra rations or anything on these Jaffa.
what a,
Anything.
Make an
useful.
investigation check for me.
I'm like,
Can we
you like
leave the
I'm
Jaffa
thinking ahead
behind?
guy. 13.
13. All you see are there's staff weapons. There's some Zatnikatels. Each of these two in front of you have a Zatnikatel or a Zat and a staff weapon. They have. Otherwise, there is nothing else on them
So I'm
other
gonna
than
pick
their
up
armor.
the Zat, and I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna. Do I know what it is?
Make an investigation check at disadvantage.
It's a crit fell.
No idea. It's pretty. It looks like an S. It's kind of it looks like a snake. Maybe it's like a snake statue. Maybe they each have a snake statue on them. Who knows? It's kind of cool looking. It's pretty metal. It's got little carvings, etchings in it. There's this little button right here.
I start walking away to leave him to die.
Oh no.
I'm gonna start to touch it.
As soon as your finger gets close, it opens up.
All right, I'm gonna roll, and if I get an odd, I'm gonna touch it.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Can't believe nobody's babysitting me.
looks safe enough to press.
Oh my god.
I would like to make a perception check to see if I notice what he's doing.
Go ahead.
Make
And I don't know
Same.
which direction
Yes.
it's pointed, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit that button.
Well, you were holding
I
it
don't
like
notice
this,
it.
and you went to press the button like this, so it's pointed at you.
So what
Do I
imagine
see
is
him
I was
doing
looking at me,
this?
and then I kind of turned it and to look at it.
Buddy, you're
Oh.
distracted talking to the colonel. Clarence, you see him as he shoots himself with the Zat,
Great.
effectively stunning himself. He falls to the ground, unconscious.
I watch him fall over. I'm just like, this is what I expect from this team. I more question what I did wrong and how I can get out of whatever trouble I'm in. God damn it.
Why did you do
I'm
that?
gonna come
guy?
up behind. I'm gonna take the statue, put it back to the other guy, and I'm gonna slap him in the face.
Okay, so you walk back over. You effectively take the Zat out of his hands and shut it, set it to the side, and then, all right, go ahead and smack him. Just give me a d20 roll plus your strength. Does that meet your AC?
Yeah.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah.
It's actually a 19.
All right.
Mm.
Go ahead and roll me a quick little die 4. Just a little die 4.
Hmm.
Oh,
Awesome.
she doesn't actually realize how hard she backhands you, but you are startled to wake as you do take 4 points of damage.
Hey man, what the hell?
I want to say she's like crouched right on top of him. You awake? You up?
Ow.
I'm gonna lean it right into his face. Don't touch shit that's not yours.
I don't know, man. It looks safe.
Does this look safe? You on laying on the ground, getting slapped awake by me?
That wasn't safe. You hurt me.
Okay.
You're not safe.
As our medic, you are the one who's supposed to keep us alive. I expect you to keep yourself safe so you can maintain keeping us alive. Is that clear, sir?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I was just trying to
Uh-huh.
help.
Uh-huh.
Gather.
Uh-huh.
All right. You're scary.
Uh-huh. You done now?
Scary.
Are we good?
Please don't slap me again.
How about you get up and you go to the nice middle of the pack here
All right.
where we can keep you safe,
Okay.
sir?
At which point, the colonel will kind of give a wave over to Buddy. All right, Buddy, take a note. We will collect these and take these back to Phoenix Base. These
Whatever they are.
weapons.
Okay. On the way back, though, right? I mean,
On the way
like,
back, yes. I don't want to collect these now just in case First Contact has any affiliation with Jaffa weapons. It's not really a good first step.
But what about that
Those
staff
are.
thing? I didn't get a chance to check that out yet.
You know,
Let's look at that
I
later.
think that
Let's
is
look at
not,
that
you know what,
later.
we'll
We're gonna grab that on the
go
way
on,
back.
head out.
I think I should look at it.
No, I really don't think you should. Not at all.
Nope. No,
Not
You
the
need like a
slightest.
weapons expert or something?
I am. You're gonna look at it later.
You've got 3 of them, and I have extensive experience with Jaffa weapons.
All right, you were good then. Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
So, having had to backtrack back to the first island, you guys continue to make your way. You've lost effectively about 25 minutes to half an hour. So now you are expected to report back in about 3.5 hours. So you make your way back to the first island again, or technically second island. Nothing looks interesting. No Jaffa bodies. Just a nice, really pretty island with some pretty trees. Same formation. So we've got Brada leading, followed by Dude.
Raw dude.
Having
guy.
been moved to the middle, Guy is following
I'm
Dude
okay. My face
with
hurt.
Buddy, and then the Colonel taking up the rear.
That's scary.
Having crossed the
Flat.
final bridge, you come to a pathway. It does lead both north and south. To the north, Brada is the village that you did spy earlier, shortly after passing through the gate. To the south, it just seems like wooded forests.
Let us head north first.
Is that the way direction of the city?
Yes.
Then let's go.
As you come north, you see off to your right what looks to be an empty hut of some kind. It's got a thatched roof. Looks like it's in some sort of disuse or disrepair. Nothing really strikes an interest, but you do see a pathway leading further inland from there. Farther in the distance, you do see the makings of a town, a nice bustling town. There's fields and agriculture. Before that, you see a very large building with 2 small houses leading further towards the inland. It does look like if you were to look to your left, it's an ocean. That is a massive ocean that those 3 little islands are in. And it's beautiful. You see seagulls flying in the air. There's a brine that fills your noses.
This is more like it.
What kind of season are we looking at here? Like, what's the temperature, climate kind of thing?
It's very temperate. It is warm, but not overly so.
It's perfect, man.
When the breeze comes in and like hits your tough exterior, it's a nice cooling. Like, it feels fantastic. Like, you can your bare feet, you can kind of like dig in the dirt a little bit, and it's got this moisture to it. It's like almost sandy dirt. Feels good between your toes.
I agree, Guy. This is very much more like it.
Can I
As
tell if
you-
the trees are
No.
the trees are healthy and the environment's healthy?
There's too much ocean.
As you guys proceed closer to the town, and you begin to pass this dilapidated structure, and then if you do look further to the right, I need everyone to just make a quick perception check to see how much of this you can kind of see.
And Guy wants to check out the nature in the area and just see if it looks healthy to him.
Okay.
That's what he's interested in.
All right, make a survival check.
Can I do a nature?
You can do a nature check. Okay. Buddy
Distracted.
and Brada, you both see that it does look as if the foliage, there's a section of the foliage that doesn't look as green. It doesn't look as bright. It looks like, and there's this one section of the land that has a completely different season almost going on. It's disconcerting, but not necessarily worrying. Especially Brada, you know, every planet's got its own abnormalities, its own little quirks that make it unique. Guy, everything looks pretty healthy. It's pretty good, pretty nice. You don't see any.
I like it here,
Nothing's
man.
dying.
Better than that base, man. And nobody's smiling. It's all underground and stuff.
I don't know. What if they don't have rations here? What if they don't have sandwiches?
Man, we shouldn't be here too long. I don't know. If they have sandwiches, though, they gotta have something to eat.
That's
How
a
can
good
they
point.
live, man?
The rations are delicious.
Maybe they just drink water.
Maybe so. We're about to find out, I guess.
As you
Guess we'll
continue
have to find somebody.
closer to the
Ask them
town,
questions.
you get to about here. Brada, if you were to check the timer that you've set, it does look as like it has taken about 30 minutes to proceed from where you crossed the final bridge onto the mainland to where you are currently, to give you any sort of amount of time that it took to travel. So you can make the
So-
assumption that you have 3 hours left. You will need to take at least half an hour to get back for check-in. So you have about 2.5 hours before you need to, at least one of you needs to head out, preferably two, because you'd never leave a man alone necessarily to go check in.
Does my watch have the ability to set an alarm?
It does.
I would like to set an alarm to go off in 2 hours then.
In 2 hours. Okay.
I see what he's doing, and I'm also going to set an alarm for 2 hours,
Okay.
just in case, fail safe.
Easily done. As you walk into what seems to be not necessarily like the center of town, but an open dirt space. There, what looks like a former standing pit is off to the right. There is again a trail that leads a little further north with some more houses. There's 2 thatched roof buildings to your left. The door opens to this extremely large building, and outside steps an older gentleman, probably in his mid-60s, with a full gray beard and mustache. His hair is long, it's approximately to his shoulders, and he wears leathers and furs. From first glance, it's obvious that this society is not too far advanced past what on Earth is considered Viking culture. As the team approaches, a few more similarly dressed individuals begin to trickle out of the building in the encampment. Suddenly, his arms reach up. Greetings, my friends. Welcome to Skadillion. Friends of Nord are always welcome here on our
bro.
island.
Bro, you're up.
You're welcome in this village. Please, come inside. As fairies, you are welcome to feast while you bring us news of Nord's victories. And he opens the door and ushers you in.
As we go in, you have a very beautiful village.
It brings great joy to hear that the fairies are pleased. Thank you. Please come in, enjoy food, ale. We have freshly caught venison, cooked and ready to go.
What are they calling us, man?
We are, after
Why?
all, the fairies, Guy.
We are?
At which point Colonel speaks up. Yes, we are fairy friends of Nord.
Hey, man, I'm like, I'm like a friend of
He
Knox.
he elbows you hard in the ribs.
Do I need to perception that to see if I get what's
No,
happening? or
you
is it
aren't. Yeah,
beating me?
nope. You just take it. There's no damage, but
Hey,
he elbows
ow,
you
man.
hard. You
Bird
know,
shit.
I think,
Ow.
buddy, I think it's best. Why don't you take Guy and
Hey,
go
man.
look at that interesting clearing we saw back in the woods area? Unless
Yeah, let's go
Guy,
look at
do
those.
you
Let's
do
go
you
look at
think
those
you
things.
can observe as a wonderful fairy friend of Nord? And he gives you a
I mean-
pointed look of, I told you before we left. We go with it.
Hey, man. Let's do this. Well, we're glad to be here. Fairies in the house and stuff.
Indeed, fairies in the house.
All right.
Yes. Let's get in this house.
So as he brings you in, you see this beautiful Viking hall. It is 2 stories, but the second story is more like, it's kind of like a wraparound porch almost, kind of observation deck above long rows of tables where you see what's close to about 100 Vikings, male and female, all in their furs and their letters, ripping into what is a community style feast. The man who greeted you earlier, my name is Ragnvald, and friends of Nord are always welcome. Please, please, join me at my table. And he gestures towards the end of the hall where there is another table set perpendicular to the rest of the tables. It is also community style seating. It is not as if it's a table for the ruling class by any means, where it's on a platform with only seating on one side. It is, again, community style. But currently you don't see anyone sitting there other than a woman who sits at the left hand of what looks to be the head of the table. If anybody would like to try and take a look at her before, as you approach, give me a perception check.
I'll leave the perception check up to somebody
Wow.
else, but I would like to make a culture check to see if there's any kind of red flags on behaviors we should avoid, or what would resonate best in dealing with them. I'm going to roll this. You'll see it has a +1, but thanks to my urban background, add a 2 to it because I get to use my charisma instead of wisdom on culture.
Okay.
And I'm just checking out the food. I'm looking for vegetarian dishes that look yummy.
Okay.
I want to know who she is so I can know all the players in the area.
And yes, investigation. I'll start with dude. We'll go in the order of rules. Dude, this woman is beautiful. She's got pale skin, dark brownish black hair that kind of fades as if she spends time under the sun. Sometimes it's like she picks and chooses where she spends her time based on how the natural bleaching of the brown at the tips as opposed to the super dark at her more roots. She is not necessarily in furs and leathers, but she does wear a beautiful gown that is cut away, and there are leathered leggings underneath, as well as boots. She doesn't wear much in the way of jewelry, but she does have a large bone blade that is resting next to the table. It has been kind of leaned in a symbol of, I won't use this, but I can. Again, she is, with that natural 20, she is striking. She looks fast. She looks very wry, as it were.
Does she look like she fits there? Like, am I looking at one of those Nord things that's like in camouflage?
What you see is, she doesn't necessarily stand out as she doesn't belong. She looks like what some consider a town treasure.
Right.
Buddy, this girl hot. She's hot.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the food.
But yeah, you're so distracted. You mean you don't really get other than, oh, yep, that's a hot chick. That smells so good. Brada, you were specifically trying to figure out the culture check.
Yeah, I want to get a feel for basically any red flags we should avoid. If I can take a look at this, the decorations, the way the table's set up, the way everyone's behaving, even in regards to how this woman seems to have been set aside almost with more reverence than anyone else. Is there anything that says, don't do this, do that? Perhaps they value this more than that kind of thing.
In the few mission briefs you've been able to read, you would know from that natural 20 on that, but that 19, it's not a natural 20, that 19 from that, you would know that specifically you have read that on other planets, how the Asgard and the Asgardian protected planets, they don't call the gold. Okay. They are called the Ettins. So if you're going to reference them or their Jaffa, you would call them Ettins.
Hell yeah, that's what I need to know.
Yes, you would know that. You would also know that her being placed at this table doesn't necessarily make her super special, but it does mean that she's probably somehow related to the chieftain or important person who greeted you. Guy, all you see is a lot of roasted meats. There's not really any plants on the tables. There's this like brown and white stuff that looks like it's got some like flecks of something on it that people are eating. That's like a side thing, but I don't know. It's super close to the meat, so you don't know if maybe it's just another kind of meat. Who knows? It's a lot of meat. A lot of meat. You don't see any green per se. There's bread. There is bread.
All right. Berries, beet, and bread, I guess. I'm just gonna grab some bread.
Look at that bread covered in gravy. Oh,
it's probably like meat bread.
As Ragnvald brings you closer to the table, the woman does stand. She kind of gives you a nod. Ragnvald looks at her like, "Huh? No." It's just silent.
I offer a high five.
She looks at you.
Give her a bro nod.
She sees it, gives you a nod back. Ragnvald kind of blushes and looks back to you. I am so sorry. Please do not take it as a discourtesy to Nord. Raydun she is hesitant of visitors and travelers. We've not seen someone come through the portal in many generations. So,
what of the Ettins we saw when we came through?
Yes. Well, Nord's might made sure that they were not a threat and never left the islands, as he promises.
Did you take care of them, or did...
No, Nord's might.
The Nords.
Nord's might.
So the sentient water.
What is sentient?
A special word he likes to say about things. So Nord's might.
Yes, Nord's might.
Nord's might takes care of any Ettins that comes through here?
It has not been necessary in so long, but it was
Did it
proved.
kill them as soon as they got here, though? Like, they didn't have a chance to hurt you, did they?
Yes, Nord's might. Well, legends tell that. And as he begins talking, he has gestured for you all to sit down at this table. At which point, I would like everyone to make me a Moxie check. For everyone watching, Moxie is a new encounter type, which works very similarly to Initiative. To determine a character's Moxie, the players will utilize either their Intelligence or Charisma bonus. This check is to be rolled at the start of an encounter, per the Gate Master's instructions. Moxie is mainly used in non-combat situations where their force of intelligence or charisma is more vital than their dexterity or their wisdom. All right. So everyone has rolled me a Moxie check. So I will pull up our turn order.
What happens that we all rolled 13?
Hopefully nothing horrible.
You get
Everyone
a
except the
gate master
diplomat.
who is obscenely annoyed. Interestingly enough, the colonel is up first for his Moxie. At which point he will take a seat and he's slowly going to start loading his plate. Thank you very much for welcoming us into your village. It's an honor to have been sent here by Nord. It is quite the honor. Yeah. Thanks. And he's gonna. So the way this is gonna work is you'll each get a chance to make one statement. At which point you may roll either a culture check or a persuasion check, depending on the purpose of your statement. And we'll use this to kind of keep track of how well this goes in potentially securing an ally or maybe learning more about their culture. So he's going to do a culture 16. Seems Ragnvald smiles. No, it's our honor to include you amongst our feast. We are finishing up a day's work and rewarding those who work in the fields and on the boats, securing our dinner for this evening. Please, there's venison, there is fish. We even have some potatoes, welcome and grown, homemade bread here.
Oh man, potatoes? All right.
Buddy, you feel like you have a chance to make a statement.
Nice. You guys got some really great food here. So you guys haven't had visitors through the gate in a long time, huh?
Make me a persuasion check. Ragnvald and Raydun give you a curious look. Before Ragnvald, no, the Edens that came through the other day are the first visitors through the portal in many generations. What you called it a gate? Fairies say something new every day. Brada.
You mentioned the Nord's power. What form does it take here?
Roll me and you can roll me a persuasion check. Okay. Nord's might it's a glorious sight. Well, when we first saw the beacon activate, we dropped everything and ran from the fields to watch the beauty as the Kraken emerged and smote the enemies.
Can I make an insight on if I know what a Kraken is?
You may make a.
I mean, I know what a Kraken is, but I don't necessarily know if Brada knows.
You may make a history or survival.
Ooh. Well, they're both the same. Let's go history. Ugh.
Who knows? It is a mystery. That is strange.
I will think about it as I chew on this haunch of meat.
All right. My dude.
Dune is going to also grab a plate and she's going to sit down so she's in the mix of it. But can we say Dune knows what a Kraken is or what we would think a Kraken looks like?
Make a history check.
Oh, from like the English version?
Make a history check.
Fuck.
I mean, you know of a really good rum called Kraken, and it's got like an octopus on it. So maybe it's that.
Kraken is just
It's great rum. So good.
Not really. Oh man, I'm like dreaming off about the rum for a minute there. I could be drinking that instead of this. I take a big bite of my meat, but the meat is good here. So, Kraken, that it only attacks those that are, only Ettins. It's never attacked anyone else.
Make a persuasion check.
That's a good one.
Fuck.
They're all good questions. Wait till my turn.
No, Nord's might only affects the Ettins. The beacon, as I said, activates, and Nord's might emerges from the sea as promised to protect us all. At which point, with that question, Raydoon looks at you and is kind of narrowing her eyes a little bit. She looks suspicious. Finally, we'll have Guy.
Finally, Guy has been distracted trying to look for the potatoes, but they're covered in gravy, like meat gravy, right?
They are covered in venison gravy. You have bread.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was kind of trying to scrape away, but as I'm doing that, and I've got on my face potatoes, I look up and I see finally this beautiful woman. What was her name again?
Raydoon. Reidun.
Whoa. I have no inhibition, so I just wipe the potatoes. What's your name, lady? You sure are pretty.
Just make a charisma check. Just straight charisma.
Makes sense for me. 5.
She looks at you. As my father said, my name is Raydoon, and I would appreciate it if you kept your fairy business over there
I mean,
and
you look super
away.
I got you. I feel you. You look definitely like you want me to leave you alone, but I'm not going to. Instead, you look bored. So, you want to see a fairy trick?
No.
Don't want to. What would you rather be doing right now?
Father, why am I here? And she looks over at Ragnvald. And he kind of smiles hesitantly. I do apologize.
Hey, you don't apologize for her. She's just being herself. Listen, I'm just trying to ask her what she'd rather be doing, because she obviously doesn't want to be here, man.
He looks towards who had the highest check. She looks towards Brada and the Colonel, kind of with an eyebrow raised before Ragnvald follows her gaze. Yes, so Raydoon is the one who brought us news that the portal had been activated yet again. Let us know to be ready and awaiting the fairy's arrivals. However, she was also the first to note when the Ettins arrived. I wanted her here just in case you had any questions for her about the Ettins and how Nord's might slayed them and kept us all safe. At which point you see her eyes kind of roll.
It's all good, man. I was just checking in on her. She just seemed unhappy. I was seeing if maybe she wanted to talk. But it's fine, man. I'll leave you alone.
At which point, having heard that Raydoon was in fact there, he will look over to Raydoon and so these Ettins, we saw them come through, and we do see that they were Jaffa. They were not the Ettin lords. So in your stories, in your history, what Ettin did Nord specifically seek fault with? Who did he keep you safe from? And he'll do a persuasion check. Anyone? Yes. At which point, Ragnvald will look up and, well, Nord's might keeps us all safe as on the seas and in the fields. It keeps us wealth and plentiful and makes sure that our harvests stay strong. We do also, as you might have seen as you passed on our way, have a small temple for his bride, Skadi. The giantess is one for the cold. She likes her areas never quite in full bloom. Really, I can't think in the stories who specifically in fault with Nord, but he has done his best to keep us safe. And Raydun will nod her head in agreement. I did see that they did bear the mark of death among their foreheads. I have not seen that in any of the stories or any of the legends. Not written down, nor in verbal tale. Buddy.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to tell us anything that you found particularly interesting about the Kraken attack, that'd be fine. Or you could, I mean, we'd enjoy that. But if you want to leave, you don't feel like you have to hear.
Make a perception check. No, not perception. Persuasion. Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
Beautiful.
what?
Um,
Double crit.
At which point, Raydun will begin to speak as Ragnvald kind of gestures to her. It was amazing. 4 of his arms raised up. I never saw his face, but as the Kraken's arms arose, it seemingly managed to strike 4 of the Ettins at the same time. It was quite a sight. At one point, a beak of some sort had its mouth around the head of one of them, and all you could hear were the Ettin shrieks and pleas, as Nord's might knew no mercy.
Oh, man.
Brata.
You said you were the first, Raydun, when the Ettins came through. Did you hear them? Did they mention any names?
She thinks for a second. Make a persuasion check. I watched from the trees of from the shore. I dare not venture on to the islands. The portal is protected. Nord has always warned that getting too close might. Well, there's a reason we no longer visit Nord's temple. He has given us other means to worship him here. And you do see among you there are symbols of waves carved into the goblets that are on the tables. It's waves. It's harvest bounty. It does look very much. They worship in action as well as in thought, as opposed to actually physically worshiping at an altar with Nord. In regards to which Ettin they served, I never heard a name. Again, they mentioned death. They mentioned. I think they said she who moves like wind.
I make an insight.
Yep.
The rest of us hear
She's
this?
telling the truth as she remembers it.
All right.
Yeah, the rest of you all hear it. If the rest of you want to try and make an insight check, you can.
See if that rings any bells for me. What she said. And
I'm
rather
not
than
liking
trying to
it.
see if she's honest.
I'm not
Now
liking
see
that
if
she
I-
referred to the Kraken as a he and not a it.
Can I see if
Well,
I've heard
he
of
does
what she-
apparently have a wife, so that might be why the he.
Again, she's speaking the truth as she remembers it. You can tell from Clarence. You can tell from the way she is referencing the Kraken. It is Nord's might is how the Kraken is referenced in their lore, which means that the Kraken is a sort of personification of Nord, which is why she would refer to it as he, as opposed to an it. She doesn't necessarily realize, they're not culturally advanced enough really to realize that this is
A separate animal.
this might be a separate animal as opposed to the god's strength.
It's just like a manifestation.
Correct.
I wanted to more think about what she actually said and see if I could make any connections with death and the wind. What'd she say?
She who moves like wind.
She moves. See if any of that rings a bell for me.
Make a history check for me
All right.
at
Yes, ma'am.
disadvantage.
Ma'am, Gate Master 8.
It's a Gould of some kind. It is a Gould who might be, I mean, they said she who moves like wind, so maybe the Gould's in a female host.
Death, man. That's a pretty scary name, man.
Radian continues. They mentioned death. They mentioned she who moves like wind. I mean, they said something about testing limits, but that was really all I heard before the beacon activated. And Nord's might came to ensure our safety.
Failed test, man.
Yeah, that test failed.
Dude.
So the beacon activated automatically. You didn't activate it.
Make a persuasion. If you're gonna ask a question, make a persuasion. If you're asking about something about their culture, I'll say make a culture check. So just for future reference, guys, if you're gonna ask a question that's not necessarily specifically about their Nordic culture or about Nord himself, it'll be a persuasion. Otherwise, culture.
Because if you didn't activate the beacon, why were you watching that area? Were you just there sightseeing?
Well, I mean, I've always been curious about how the portal works. I mean, it's stories. No one's come through the portal in over 200 years. I guess curiosity got the better of me, and I've always been good at hiding. And she kind of looks at her father, and her father's like, "Guy."
Makes sense.
So, Guy is mainly focused on the lady. So, these guys, they come through, right? And then suddenly, Kraken appears, takes them out before they can do anything. It's the only time anything like this has ever happened before that you all have seen.
Persuasion.
Six.
As I said before, the portal hasn't activated in over 200 years, and as the stories tell, Thor's might is only activated when an Etten comes through and threatens our safety. There's no reason for the beacon to activate if an Etten is not nearby.
But the Kraken doesn't come around otherwise?
Why would Nord's might show if there is not an Etten? There's no use for Nord's might if the Ettens are not here.
Got you. All right. That's all for Guy.
Okay. At which point I'm going to go ahead and take us out of Moxie order. As Ragnvald looks to you and goes, well, I'm glad we could help alleviate some of your fears and your worries. I know Nord has sent you because of the Etton's presence, and we thank you for checking on our safety.
Yes, that's why we're here.
Yeah, we'll like get rid of the bodies and stuff for you.
At which point, the colonel will reach into his bag and he will take out a small metal box. Those of you who have had previous first encounters with the Tauri, the Earthlings in the past, recognize this box. So you would know that this is a box that the Tauri give to a new culture, a new civilization upon first meeting, just in case they want to try and communicate and reach out to the base. It includes some things about a little bit about their history, a little bit about how to reach them. The colonel will pull out this box and he'll look at it and very carefully before thinking, weighing what seems to be pros and cons. Ragnvald, Nord has directed me to offer this to you. He'll offer the box and Ragnvald will take it. Now, Nord made sure to tell me that you should only open this box if, for some reason, Nord's might does not come if the Ettins come through the portal, or if you learn the true nature of his might. At which point, Ragnvald very gravely nods his head and kind of passes the box over to Raydun. She's very carefully looking at it, tracing the almost A-like shape that's on the box with a little circle above it, which the captains would know is the 7th symbol, the symbol for Earth, if you're trying to get home. As she traces it, she actually doesn't see, she doesn't see any latches or hinges. She's not really sure. She'll set it off to the side. I need everyone to make me a perception check. Cool. The conversation continues on for another half hour. At this point, it's been probably about an hour, so you've got another hour or so before the alarms go off on your watches for next check-in. When you guys are enjoying this food, this drink, there's ale, there's mead, there's water, if so you choose. Even some wines are offered. As the joviality of the hall, it's almost cacophonous in how loud and happy everyone truly is. When suddenly someone comes running in through the door as it crashes open. Quick! There's an attack at the temple. I don't know why, but suddenly, like, someone comes rushing in with a small child who has what looks to be blood coming off of their arm, their left arm. This is again at the front entrance. Go ahead and
run over to the child and immediately.
Before we do that, I would like everyone to roll me initiative, and we'll all go from there.
Holy crap.
Initiative.
I rolled bad.
I should probably re-roll the colonel, just as a thought, maybe.
Not always in first.
Oh, should we collect our tokens and all that, or it's still up there from last time?
It should have already done it. Did he really roll a 22? Damn. Oh no.
I only rolled a 4 and it says 20.
Oh, for some reason it took the higher. It's okay.
I changed it.
Yeah, I'm okay taking that 18 instead of an 11.
I bet.
I want to take
that
my 17. This is the first chance I'm going to get to go first. I get -2 to dexterity.
Good job, bro.
I have no initiative.
All right.
My initiative +2 doesn't help me much.
So we will utilize
Stargate.
this
9.
initiative both for what combat what actions happen now, as well as Well, we'll just use these for now. So, Brada, you have a chance.
I want to move to the child, trying to clear a path for Guy, because I know Guy's our medic, so he's going to be able to help this kid way more than I can. So Brada just gets up and goes, move, 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 and I get over the child, kind of want to hold them so that Guy can get to them more easily.
Okay. Just roll me
Acrobatics.
intimidation check.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
See how well you can take a handle
Yeah.
of this scene.
Well,
That's
Well.
that Unos coming out. That's
Yeah, you see-
that non-domesticated Unos coming out.
You see, they are immediately, the townsfolk kind of stay back and make room for you. And there's a nice pathway now begun to be cleared towards the child.
Cool.
I'm going to callously use the pathway and I'm going to bolt forward. I'm trying to get out the door to see what has panicked these people. I need eyes on it now.
Okay. Make a perception check. I'm going to say you're right about here. Everybody else is still inside here.
God damn it.
You see a rippling in the water out here, but you don't see what the ripple is. You see that the water is moving, but you can't tell if it's a current or if it's a creature. You don't really know.
That's not good. I'm going to ready an action to shoot something if it attacks me.
Okay. Buddy.
I would like to ask them what they're being attacked by.
Okay. Make a persuasion check for, are you up at the table or are you going to run down to the crowd?
I'm still at the table. Asking that. You
Okay.
said a persuasion?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dragonbald, I don't know what, someone out at the docks must have seen something, a child getting too close to the temple. I mean, sometimes people wander over and play. It's again 200 years since the portal's open, but it's dangerous over there. I don't know why anything like this would have happened. Comes to the colonel's turn. He's going to dash forward and try it again. Make room to get to the child. 15, yeah. He's helped barricade. Now there is a very clear pathway to get to the child from that front table. Guy.
Hey, I got this. It's cool. Everybody, thanks, man. Let me through. Thanks, bro. All right, I got this. So I'm going to walk up and I'm going to actually administer my med kit. Would this individual, this child, be considered bloodied or scuffed?
I'd definitely say he's bloodied. He's missing. Give me an investigation check, first of all.
It's
Or a
going to
medicine
depend on my role, so I'm going to have to know eventually.
Well,
you know?
no. Give me an investigation or a medicine so you can take a look at his body before you administer anything. You've got to try and figure out what's going on. Where is all this blood coming from?
So it's 18.
All right. So this kid is missing his arm from here down. This entire part of
31.
his arm is gone, and he is bleeding. They have wrapped some sort of leather around his elbow to hopefully try and stop bleeding. But other than that, yeah, this kid is missing part of his hand, his arm.
So I'm going to pull out the med kit and I'm going to immediately go to actually start wrapping where he's bleeding heavily and try to stem that. And it'll be 2d8 healing. So I'm going to go ahead and
The
roll
child is in shock right now. All right, that does some good. He seems to be coming. He's a little more lucid, but he's still out of it. You don't think you could talk to this child and really get a sense of what happened, what his story is.
that's
Brada.
it for my turn.
Brada,
Mhm.
Did I hear the mention that someone might have seen something down at the docks?
Make a perception check. Let's see if you could hear it. Because that was up at that was when they first ran in and you guys were at the front table. Yeah, you would have heard that there might be more, like someone might have seen something from the docks because that has a pretty clear line of sight to the temple.
Okay, seeing that Guy's now here and able to attend the wound, I'd help lay the child down or at least get him stable, sitting up or however. Then I'm going to move towards the dock, and anyone I see on the way to the dock, I would ask him, "Did you see anything? What happened to the kid?"
I mean, you don't even have to leave the building. You could talk to the person who brought the
Okay.
child in, as they would have had to run out and grab the child and then bring him back. So you get the feeling that this probably happened a while ago, and that somehow you must have missed this child running by you on your way into town. This child must have been sneaking off towards the Portal Temple area while you guys were making your way into town, in order for this to all have happened and been back in time. Asking the man who brought in the child what happened. I didn't see much. I just saw the biggest shark I've ever seen. It lunged up. The child was playing in the water by the temple. I've never seen a shark get this close before. It's strange. Why would Nord allow his this has to be the work of someone else. This can't be Nord. Nord would never. And then you hear from elsewhere throughout the hall. Suddenly, there's a quick murmuring
There's a quick murder.
Just a quick word. Yeah.
through. Yeah, you hear a quick murmuring through the crowd of how could Nord allow this. At which point someone pipes up, "This is not Nord's doing. This must be Agir. Agir must be doing this. His destruction is what Nord fights. We must pray. We must pray that Nord will offer salvation." And at which point you do see a few groups start to form of groups that have circled up and begun to pray. Let's see here. Who's up next? My dude. Dude.
Okay. Am I close enough to hear them talk about the docks and stuff like that?
You're just outside the door, so yes, you can hear the docks. You can hear them
Okay.
mentioning the docks.
I want to look to where the beacon is. I assume the beacon is beside the portal.
Mm-hmm. The beacon is over here. That's what this
Okay.
little structure is right there.
Does it look like the beacon's been activated?
You do not see a light on the beacon.
Okay. So at least there's that. Is there any more rippling in the water? Anything that looks agitated or anything?
If you would like to move closer to the cliffs, you can take, I would say, an action and a bonus action to move towards the cliffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do
I'm gonna do
see
that.
you do see rippling. You do see rippling in the water below, but you're not sure from this height because you are about 45 meters in the air.
Okay.
You're not sure at this height how effective your long arm would be.
That's fair. I just wanted to see what was going on in the water there, but not move too far away from the group.
Yep.
Is there more people panicking in the village?
It does seem like people are panicking. Word seems to be spreading through town of anyone who's not here. You do see nets are being pulled in quickly. If you look over at the dock, you see nets being pulled in. Like it's a hustle and it's a bustle to get as far away from the water as possible. Betty.
Since I sit at the table, I'll just move over to kind of get closer to Guy and Broad, just kind of, just in case we decide we're going to do anything, I want to be kind of close to them.
Okay. Do you have any actions or anything you'd like to take, or just move down?
No actions, no, just
Okay.
moving closer.
The colonel will follow suit. At which point, Ragnvald will descend descend and come down towards you. Please, as friends of Nord, you must fight Agir's presence. You must please help us. Please. That must be why the beacon hasn't activated. I mean, Nord's might would not allow. I mean, is this the Etton's doing? He looks very concerned and very questioning. Guy.
I'm gonna continue administering to this child and do another med kit and continue wrapping. Basically, I'm bandaging up to try to stem the bleeding and start to actually use some of the salve that I've extracted, and actually my own little concoction that I've soaked these bandages in.
Okay.
So it'll be I got you, just relax. It'll be all good. This is a lot better. 11.
You get the sense that this child is as close to full health as he possibly can be, missing part of his arm.
Right.
He's asleep. He's still in
good.
shock. He's just asleep now.
Fine. Let him rest. He'll be fine now, though. Hand him off to whatever the adult in charge is.
Okay, and they have quickly cleared off part of the food from the table and have bundled up some furs as a pillow for him to rest. And they're hesitant to move him because of the type of wound, but they will be watching and keeping an eye.
Be okay now. Just let him rest. Keep him chill.
Barada's going to Barada's gonna motion towards the temple. We should probably go to the temple to see what happened there. But I'm also would like to do whatever check I need insight history for that name I just heard, Gira.
A gear?
A gear. Yes.
Make a history or a culture check at just make a roll.
Is it AEGIR?
AEGIR.
Culture.
Okay. You don't really know this name. You're not too well equipped on human Viking culture and their gods.
Fair.
But from the murmurs that you've heard, it seems like the yang to the yin, kind of. If Nord is the good god of water, it makes sense that based on what you've heard, this could be the opposite.
Okay. And then I'm going to take off. Hopefully everyone's going to follow me towards the temple.
Okay. So you're going to head outside and go towards the temple.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys do know that it will take approximately half an hour to get back to the temple. If you run, you can cut that time in half.
We need to go back there anyways to report back.
Yeah, but I think we still have like an hour.
Direction. Oh yeah, what's our time on
that? Right before this happened, it was about an hour before you needed to, well, an hour and a half technically, because Brada added, he basically shaved off 30 minutes just to make sure that you guys made it back.
He gave us travel time.
He gave you a travel time. So you've got an hour and a half before you have to check in.
It's in the right direction, man. We got to head that way anyways.
I'm curious about this wife that...
So my dude.
But dude.
My dude. I'm also going to see that they're headed that way, and I'm going to meet up and start running.
Okay. That takes us to Buddy.
Hey, girl. I think you're muted,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna move over to the temple along with everyone else.
All right.
See what's
Buddy's
going
on his
down
way.
there.
Buddy's on his way to the temple. The colonel will look to Ragnvald and just say, we will do our best to alleviate. Yeah, and he'll just go. Guy.
So, okay, you guys just keep them easy there, let them rest. I'm going to go follow them because they're probably going to need my help. But we'll try to help you more later. We can figure this out. Peace. I'm going to go run after them.
Okay. At which point you guys get to the gate location.
Guys.
What is everyone's run speed, or what is everyone's speed? How many meters per? How many meters per?
6, 7.
Mine is a 6.
7.
Man.
Six.
Man.
Okay, so essentially, Somehow, Buddy is like out. He's like,
Buddy's
And
Buddy,
just-
wait up, buddy.
he is like leading the way, but he is shortly followed by the captain, then Brada, then the colonel, and then
Wait up, guys.
Guy. As you reach this map right here. Maybe if
It feels like it.
the internet wants to work.
Like we ran all the way to a new map, man.
I know, right? It's
Like a
weird.
champion.
From here you do see there are some ripples in the water. It seems to be not necessarily circling, but it's traveling through this upper alcove right here. But you see the ripples moving off and out to sea almost. You do start to see the top of a fin come up through the water as you approach the water.
Weird, man.
And then we'll go ahead and on your turn, we'll start with Brada. You may move yourself your movement speed. We'll just go ahead and cycle through just Brada. We'll just go Brada, Clarence, Buddy, Colonel, Dude. Just go ahead and move yourselves in as we advance through.
Each square is how many meters?
Each square on this is 3 meters.
Okay. Right. Is it typical to other games where I can move twice in a
Yes,
round?
you can use a dash to. Yes, you can do that.
Okay. So I'm going to move down to the bridge here. And I'd like to, looking at the fin, get an idea for what kind of animal this may be. I'm not completely convinced it's a shark, and how big it is.
Okay.
Would that be a survival?
Yes.
Boo. Boo.
There's nature as well.
My nature's not any better.
There's an option.
Kind of looks like a shark. I don't know. It bit somebody. Who knows? It maybe a shark. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Clarence.
That's me. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come up here. Not there. I am going to also try and do a survival, take a look and see if that's actually a shark.
Looks like a shark. Big
Looks like
shark.
a shark. I'm gonna ready an action to shoot anything if it comes at me at the bridge, and that's the end of my turn.
Buddy.
I'm a move up. Ooh, let's see. Yeah, that's about as far as I get. Yeah, and ready my long arm. Ready the P90, just in case it comes at us.
All right. So we've got our marching order. It looks like. So we've got Brada in the front. It looks like the captains are moving side by side. The colonel right behind, and then Guy in the rear. And you guys run quickly ahead. In about a minute, you guys have made your way across these bridges and across these 2 islands to come to these temple ruins that you see a path in front of you that kind of leads up and around and winds, and on the top of this cliff are these ruins. But next to you, you see kind of almost a docking type area that maybe people had rode here previously before the bridges were built. And in the water circling near a red discoloration in the water, you do see circling a rather large shark. So we'll go to the top of the initiative order. Somehow, maybe aptly, the colonel gets first chance at initiative. So he will use he'll bring up his P90 and kind of take aim into the water at this shark. First, he's going to make a nature check to see what he knows about sharks. Again, not his forte, so he's going to roll with disadvantage just to 12. I mean, it's a shark. It bit a kid, and according to Jaws, the movie, trademark, not ours, please don't sue us. According to that, once they get a taste of human flesh, man, it's all over. So he is going to go ahead and fire his P90. It has the automatic feature, which means that for every action, it makes 3 attacks. So he will 2, 2, 3. So
23, nice.
let's see here.
Just throwing like workout videos at him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I will mark that down. He's not going to utilize anything for a bonus action. So that will take us to Buddy.
Well, seeing that he's shooting, I don't want to be left out. So I will also fire 3 times using that automatic.
Ooh.
Oh,
Looks like only 1 hits. Oh, no, maybe that third one might.
let's see here. Because every third round you get advantage. Because with
Oh.
automatic,
Mhm.
every 3 rounds gains automatic. Gains advantage on the third hit. So if we look at the kernels, it would be a 23, a 10, and then a 23. So for this one, it would be a 20, a 9, and a 15. So, Buddy, the 20 and the 15 do both hit.
Sweet.
That's good.
Okay.
Maybe he just wants to be friends, y'all.
It's too bad we're killing him.
Oh, yeah, it did kind of bite that kid's arm off.
I don't
too.
care. I'm killing it.
Okay. That takes us to my dude.
Can I do a perception check on him and see how hurt he is by getting shot a few times by my cohorts?
You may.
I don't think I see anything.
You see blood in the water, and you see some thrashing. Whatever
Cool.
has happened has angered the shark. That's for sure.
I shoot at it.
Okay.
Shoot badly at it.
So your first 2 shots do go into the water. You don't see any additional blood or anything come floating in the surface. However, the third shot does hit. And you do see with that the shark itself kind of comes rearing up, and it does swim very quickly up to the bridge, and it does kind of lunge up out of the water, and it is going to make a bite attack at his first bite attack will be at the Colonel. Oh,
Watch out, Colonel.
holy shooza. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Taking a big old chunk out of the Colonel. It rips up and it bites at his leg and kind of rips down, and you do actually see the bite has almost shredded the bottom half of the Colonel's leg.
I use my tactic as a reaction.
What is your tactic? Please describe it and tell us what happens.
My tactic is Overwatch. You may use your reaction to make a ranged attack against the enemy who makes an attack against a team member other than yourself.
You may.
So do I get 3 shots or just 1?
You do get 3 if you're using your P90 automatic weapon.
I will use my P90 automatic weapon.
Okay.
I am still not good with
Unfortunately,
it.
all of those are wide. This is holy crap, your captain. I mean, holy crap, your Colonel. Oh, captain. Oh, captain, my captain. This is ugly.
Good at this. I'm so sorry.
As the shark comes back down, he's gonna lunge back up and make another bite attack at Guy, who is on the bridge.
I just want to be buddies. Yeah.
22 to hit.
Yeah.
That is 11 piercing damage.
Ow, you guys.
And again, he ranges up and grabs at a leg. Not quite as horribly shredded as the Colonel, but it does dig in, and you can feel it dragging down your leg as it eventually loses its grip and goes back into the water, which will end the shark's turn. Guy, you feel like after that you have a chance to Your movement speed will be considered halved because of the way that it grabbed your leg.
Well, I'm going to use my racial ability,
Mhm.
learn from the Nox, and you're going to see me on the ground clutching my leg that's bitten partially off, and then I'm going to disappear.
Okay.
So one moment I'm there, next I'm not. I'll post the text of it for you. So I'm going to go invisible.
Okay. Beautiful.
Use my Nox pacifist ability.
Wonderful.
And there it is. Oh, it's not supposed to look like that, but there it is.
That's okay. All right, go ahead and roll me a d4, as our session does include a tension die. So what happens is each episode of your season, the Gate Master will assign what is called a tension die. This can range anywhere from a d4 to a d12. This will tell the players how much risk or how much involvement might happen that episode. Today's episode is a d4, which is one of the lower ends, and by that I mean it is the lowest. It's maybe funny, or maybe it's not as high of a risk scenario. So for the next 2 rounds, you are considered invisible.
All right.
Barata.
Barata has a Beretta. What's the damage die on a Beretta?
A Beretta has a d6 damage die.
D6. Is it automatic as well?
It is not considered an automatic weapon.
Okay. Then I am going to. I'd like to eye the shark down first. I'm assuming I know enough to know this isn't typical behavior. A shark jumping out of the water and attacking people on a bridge.
Make a nature check.
Okay, I'm not smart enough to put that together.
Oh no! It's a shark and it bit people.
Sharks are crazy. I will. Then I will miss with the Beretta as well.
Yep, that's gonna miss. It's a wide shot. I mean, you're not super used to handling the Towery's weapons, so this is weird.
I'm a diplomat. I don't even like holding a gun.
Yeah, you're
But
not
it's
a fan. Which will take us back to the Colonel. He has based on this leg bite, he's fallen, and he is kind of sitting on the bridge at this point. So he's pissed. He's just gonna take his P90 and make another few shots and fire 3 more shots at the shark. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, thank God for that automatic advantage. So all 3 of those are actually going to hit. For what is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 17 total damage. Beautiful. He is not going to try and stand. He knows if he puts too much pressure on his leg, it ain't going to be pretty. And he does not want to fall and get any closer to this water than he absolutely has to. So, buddy.
Okay, let's see here. Guess I'll just fire a few more shots at it.
Right. So a 7 is going to miss, but a 14 and a 17 do hit. So that is a total of 13 damage. Beautiful.
And it doesn't look like I'm on the bridge, so I'm good where I'm at.
That is true. My dude, Clarence.
Clarence is going to try and, can she move forward so she's kind of in front of where the Colonel is, so if he gets attacked, she can be in the way of that?
You could,
again?
yeah, you could kind of use your movement to kind of pull him back a little bit to stand over him, to put yourself in way of him. Yeah.
I'm worried about him because I know they're attracted to blood. And I'm going to attack with my P90 as well. Maybe I will hit this time.
Nine and 4 miss. Let's see here. And the 13 just barely connects.
Jesus Christ, the one that has 1 damage hits. I'm too busy dragging him to hit
Yeah.
something.
You feel like you're more focused and you're not aiming as closely as maybe you should be. Which brings us to the reef shark's turn. Its main target of its ire has just been kind of moved back. I'm gonna kind of adjust this so it's like that. And it can't see the strange looking one anymore. So it's going to lunge up and make 2 bite attacks against you, dude.
Dude.
Yay. 18 hits, 7 misses.
Okay. So 15 total piercing damage as it reaches up and bites at your leg.
Ow.
It does hurt. It shreds. Shreds into your leg and kind of, but its teeth lose traction as it gets to your boots, your uniform issued boots. It hurts. It's hard to stand, but you manage to keep to your feet.
Cool.
My guy.
All right. Oh man, I'm gonna limp over through my buddies to just the other side of them, and then can I see what this shark? I don't know what guys. I've got a crazy idea. He wants to keep this shark from getting killed, even though it bit him. So, how far away is the shark from us in the water?
It's right below. It's tasted blood and it knows that there is food. There is a food source
If
nearby.
No, okay. So the colonel, how injured is he looking? Bloodied or scuffed?
Oh, he's bloodied. Anyone who has been bitten by this shark at this point is considered bloody.
All right,
Yeah.
so in that case, I'm going to go ahead and heal him, but I'm going to stay invisible.
Okay.
So you make your proficiency modifier as a standard action because I have first aid. So since he's bloodied, I get 2d8.
Okay.
But I thought it said something about I have to act like I'm not proficient or something. I need to read, but it should be 5.
Okay.
Wrap him up.
He's like,
Out of nowhere, he's getting wrapped up. I got you, man. It's all good. It's me.
It's like air is talking to him and he's,
Getting wrapped up, yeah.
I mean, as much as mission reports tell you the Nox have invisibility, this is not something he was necessarily prepared for. Barada.
Remember, despite its behavior, it's still just an animal. And what I'm doing with that is I am inspiring everybody. You all get 1d6 temporary hit points.
Oh, okay.
As long as those hit points are active, thanks to my addition to that skill, you actually get to access whatever feat I have active as well, or some sort of a watered down benefit of that feat.
Okay.
So as long as y'all have these 4 hit points, I have decided to give you all handle animal.
Okay.
Nice.
That'll take us to the Colonel. Not necessarily feeling bolstered, but still a little freaked out that air just wrapped bandages really fast around his leg and said, "Hey, don't die." He's going to kind of adjust himself to laying flat and kind of use the bridge to kind of aim himself between. Actually, not between. He's going to off to the side of the captain's legs, kind of right here. Well, yeah, you get the gist. And take aim at the shark. Let's see here. What's he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna use his P90. All but the final shot are going to miss Strike wide as he is distracted by the pain in his leg. That is going to take us to Buddy's turn.
Yeah, it's gonna fire another 3 rounds at it.
Your second shot feels you feel like you can see that second shot connect, but your first and third shot feel to go wide. So you will do 4 damage.
And, still on land. It hasn't shown any ability to get on land, so I'm still fine.
It doesn't
where
seem
I'm
like
at.
it can walk on land. No, it's not got feet yet in its evolutionary process. Clarence.
I'm gonna shoot at this shark because that hurt a lot.
Yeah, it hurt. Hit, miss, hit. For 17 damage.
No,
You gotta
it's,
give me one of them.
10 damage.
Oh, 10. I can't read. It's fine. It's fine. Look at you and your honesty.
I'm gonna move off the bridge because I can't
Okay.
get bit by that guy again.
Okay.
So I'm like over here.
Okay. This will make you feel like unless you have a clearer shot, this will make any shot you have at disadvantage with a gun because of friendly fire. So
I'm
just
gonna
knowing
move
that.
again for next time so that
Okay.
I'm not friendly firing. That
Okay.
was just the most likely place away.
Oh Lord. with
Colonel.
Oh no, Colonel. Shit.
with guys still invisible, the reef shark is gonna make 2 attacks at the Colonel.
Colonel, don't get eaten on our first mission.
This is not
Worst
good.
team ever.
No. What?
No.
And
So-
because this other
Oh no, are
You're
we
the
allowed to curse
worst.
on this stream? Oops, that's still a
well,
curse word.
It's fine. We'll make it work.
I mean, let's try. Let's keep it. Let's keep it.
We'll keep it
I
as PG
like-
as possible.
Oh,
Keep it
I like
family.
this
I'll figure
Colonel.
something
Oh
out.
man.
Keep it family.
man.
So as the Colonel is aimed, the shark does leap up and connect on the first bite he makes, and it scrapes along the opposite arm of the leg that was bitten, and actually pulls the gun out of his hand and into the water. So he no longer has his P90, and he does take 10 piercing damage as it
Someone want to scoop
bites
him?
into his arm. So that's only he had 4 temporary
Yeah,
hit
on your turn,
points.
you can do whatever you want. If you want to scoop them, scoop them. You dipped out.
I
Medic's like, I'm
forgot
not
to
going out there.
scoop him. I'm
You're like, "Can anybody else
crazy
get him? I just
injured.
ran away. Y'all get him."
Guy, you feel like
Yeah.
you had 2 rounds, correct, of invisibility?
This will be the start of my second round.
Okay, so this is the second round. So this is your last round with invisibility.
Yes. I'm going to take this round to step over, grab the Colonel, and drag him.
By his
So-
good leg?
Exactly, by whatever's not falling off.
So
So
this will
that's-
half your movement speed, so you can get just to the edge of the bridge right where Brada and the captains are.
So
So
I'm
you're
gonna
not
do
you're
that.
not able to get fully off the bridge, but you're able to get close.
What if I use my action as another movement
Yeah, you could probably
instead of taking an action?
you could probably get the both of you like right here.
I was gonna try to move through them to like right here.
Too far.
Well, definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's no point in me moving if we're still right next to the coast. So can I? If I can't get them away from the edge,
Because you have to go.
I'm gonna use
So,
my
yeah.
action to. Then I'm gonna take them with me back to where I am now.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab them and move them back to where I am now because that's as far as I can move, is what you're saying.
Mhm.
And then
So
I'm
you
gonna.
could get him. You could get him right to where you are, right there.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna heal him.
Okay. Nice.
Go.
Grab him up. The end of this round, I will be visible.
Okay. At which point, Guy will pop back into visibility, Brada, right in front of you as this disembodied force has just dragged the colonel back towards you.
Teach me that.
That thing bites me, I'm gonna die. Just letting you know, man.
I am going to. I want to try and position myself between the shark, Guy, and the colonel. Like whatever, if I can take a ready to action, whatever attacks incoming, I want to be there to take it. Because I'm still feeling pretty good. Brada's still in good shape right now.
You will come forward to here-ish, and you'll have the pistol ready to make us a single shot when the reef shark rears up to attack again.
Yeah, either a ready to action with the pistol, or if it looks like it's not going for me, a way to take the hit if need be.
Okay, I like it. Okay, yeah, definitely. That ready to action is held. The colonel is going to use his free action to go ahead and pull out one of his pistols and from the ground, look at it, think twice, and he's actually just going to crawl. He's going to like...
Get out of here, man.
Captains! Yeah. Yeah.
This sucks, boss. This straight up sucks.
Buddy.
Let's see here. Seeing that there are a bunch of people getting really close. Can I move to right here?
You may.
Does that look like the shark would be able to get from there?
In theory, it's the beginning of a slope that leads down into the water. This right here, you see where it kind of looks like it's a cliff face. It's more sand. It's a more sandy.
Okay.
So
it'd be
as
harder for it to get.
You're toward the edge. Yeah, it would have to beach itself to be able to bite at you. You think.
All right. Well, that's not ominous, but I feel safe right here, so I'm gonna move there and take a few shots.
Okay.
Kill it.
Got a miss, a hit, and a hit. So that is, can I math? 14 damage. The shark is still alive, but it looks angry and on its last legs.
Impressive since it doesn't have legs.
Sharks don't have legs.
Make a nature check. You don't know. I'm kidding.
Do we see any legs? Roll a 1. It has legs.
All right, Clarence.
Might shoot around, buddy.
Yeah, you could shoot around, buddy, at like its tail area.
Okay. Even if that gets me disadvantage, it's better than not taking a shot. And my shots are already sucking. So I'm going to try one more time, and I suck a lot.
Wow, all of your shots go wide. And in fact, actually, your second shots never come out as your P90 jams after you take the first shot. And you do think you will have to do some maintenance before you can fire this again.
That's fair. That's fair. It's been not going well for me anyways. I'm going to put it away then.
Okay. At which point the reef shark will angry, hungry, hurt, make a what it hopes is a finishing blow, and will leap up and make an attack at Barada, at which point your opportunity attack or your held action will take action. So go ahead and give me a Beretta shot.
Pop, pop. Give it a pop, pop.
A pop, pop. Oh.
Hey, well.
Oh, 1 whole damage, bro.
Woohoo!
I also hit it with my Beretta.
As it leaps in the air,
do you kill it with that one?
God, I hope. Yes.
Nice.
It had 1 point left. It had 1 left. With that shot, as it reaches out and its jaws are wide, the way you fire it hits it just in the soft cartilage in the back of its throat, and it kind of half slumps onto the bridge at your feet and then before slowly beginning to fall back into the water.
I reflexively shot at it too, because that's my bonus action reaction.
Perfect.
Do I hit it? I hit it.
You did. Now it's super dead.
I also hit it for 1.
I'm immediately going to start ministering to the colonel.
Okay.
I thought you were about to say shark. I was like, you
The
better
colonel
not.
the colonel kind of like pushes you away. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Then he like grabs a stick and uses it as like a like to pull himself up that he finds nearby as like a cane. All right. Well, we don't have much time before check-in anyway, so we might as well check in. Got to report back
We
to the
done now?
townspeople, and
Hey,
then
man,
just
you
go
got bit
home?
by a
Let's
shark.
just-
Are you
let's-
sure you're good?
yeah, you know what? I'll just report in. You guys go ahead and go back to town. Tell them we took care of it. For now, they shouldn't have any issues with that. Just tell them it was a shark that I don't know. Woohoo! I'll report
we
back,
examine
report
the-
injuries, and then we'll go home. Yes, Captain.
Can we examine that shark before it sinks too far down? See if there's anything
Well,
actually up
Guy
with it.
and Brada, I have about like, let's say one. I'll give them each an action if they want to try and grab it before it starts slipping.
Man, I'll look at it real quick with my nature, like, and just see what I can learn of it before it disappears.
That 10's an attempt to actually like grab it.
Okay. Yep, it's full of bullet holes there, Guy. It is full of bullet holes. And
Big shark.
Brada,
Got
you managed to
shot, y'all.
catch one of the fins, and you're like pulling on it, but it is very heavy, and you do not think you can lift this by yourself. It is slowly starting to pull you in towards the water with its weight.
Oh, help!
Can I scoot over and give him a hand?
It
Yeah,
will help.
yeah, I'll let the two of you run over. Both of you make athletics checks at advantage.
Pull harder, y'all.
I'm angry that I haven't been able to shoot it successfully.
Nice.
Oh,
With both of that, the
Yes.
captains are able to help you, Brada, pull it back up onto the bridge. But you do see that the bridge is starting to creak and groan a little bit under the weight. You do think that you maybe should not have it on the bridge too much longer. If you would like, I'll let those athletics checks stand, and the three of you can carry it onto the next island if you so.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I'll go ahead
Yes.
and
you know,
move us.
like eat it or something?
Should we take this through the gate for examination? Do we have a biologist?
Do we need to? Is that standard procedure? I thought one of you
like
could take a look
nature
at it.
guy. Looks like a big shark, man.
I mean, we don't have a scientist on our team right now. So no. This was supposed to be a diplomatic first contact mission, not necessarily a fight and die kind of thing.
I felt the fight and possibly the dying. I say as
mean-
my leg bleeds.
If anybody wants to
I would
also
like to cut its stomach open to see if it has any treasure. I've heard all about shark treasure.
So all of us are now on this middle island with a dead shark corpse. I will let everyone, if they so desire, I will let everyone kind of, really? You're going to play me like that? Come on. I will let everyone make an investigation check to decide what they would like to do. Buddy, you cut into what you think is its stomach and you cut off a fin. You have a fin now. You have a shark fin. It's rubbery.
Make
kind
it
of
into a terrible
feeling.
soup. It's culturally
Is
not
there any
a
way
fun
to
thing we do.
use determination to make this any more effective?
Yes. The way that works is that each character has a number of determination points that function as a form of currency for social and mental encounters. These points are bid like poker chips with a minimum of 1. Not every player has to enter a bid. These points are bid like poker chips. They allow a character to try and persevere to avoid failure. Determination points, or DP, are determined by adding your highest bonus in intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, plus your proficiency bonus. This can be spent, wagered, but when a DP is spent by the player character, it lowers their current DP by the amount wagered. Encounter rules don't usually call for DP to be spent, but certain feats, abilities may use DP as a resource as well. For example, if you have an interaction or a check that fails like this, your team might choose to initiate a convince counter or a search encounter, and wager these determination points to attempt to try again. For Gate Masters, determination points on the team represent a character's overall mood. The more determination points they have, the better mood they're in. The less they have, it could mean emotionally drained by recent events. It could mean that they're easier to convince or otherwise influenced by actions, or how easy it is for them to convince other people. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll go Bo, then Corey, then Chris, then Jade. If you'd like to enter a wager, you can wager as many as you would like to try and succeed on this investigation check.
I'm good with my shark fin.
Okay.
I would like to wager. I'm going to wager 3 determination points.
Okay.
To me,
Yep.
Corey.
I will wager 3 as well.
Okay. And then Jade.
I'll wager 1.
Okay. So that puts us at a total of 7. Well, based on what I had mentally set as the DC for this, yeah, that's gonna be a success for sure. 7 points. That is definitely a success.
We're determined.
So yeah, you are very determined to
Bring this
succeed
shark
on
with
this
us?
and use your logic to figure out what's going on with this shark. So essentially what's going to happen is that because of this and the fact that essentially it made it like a natural 20, I would like, actually, you know what? I would like everyone to roll me another investigation check at advantage who was involved in the determination point wager. I would like everyone to roll me investigation at advantage.
I did better last time.
Team. Ooh.
Correct.
Nice.
19, 21, 10. That is, well, that was a natural 20, so overwhelming success. So each of you would gain 2 times the points that you wagered. So 6,
What?
6, and 2.
Yeah, son.
A
That's how you
character
do
can
it.
always have more determination points than they are initially start with, but they can never fall below 0. This is because you can always gain more determination, but once you hit, well, you can't really get less determined.
So now we're like have better morale too, basically.
Exactly. So essentially now you have better morale. And what you find through the riddled bullet holes, essentially what it looks like is that, I mean, normally sharks are pretty antisocial when it comes to humans. They don't really bother humans unless something strange is going on. This does look like it has kind of pock marks in it, little acid marks. It does look like maybe something tried to eat this and hurt it significantly. And so it, when it was nearby the area, tried to swim as far to the surface as it could, find food to take back and try and, reheal itself. Essentially, from this check, what you figure out is maybe the Kraken tried to eat it
Yeah, man.
from the acid pockmark damage you see on it, and it somehow got away, which tells you while the Kraken may not be active at all, it does still live in these waters, but it doesn't necessarily come onto land unless the beacon is activated.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Are we gonna hang around here? Or are we gonna get cracking?
I shove them in the water.
I needed a bath. Thanks, man.
So who would like to go back to town to report back that the threat has been dealt with, and who would like to stay with the colonel to report back?
I would like to stay and report back because I am bleeding profusely.
I go with them to keep them like from dying.
I'll accompany Brada.
Okay, so Brada and Buddy, as our two uninjured members of the party, will go back to town, and it happens pretty efficiently. You approach the town, you let them know that it does look like an injured shark. Might have been seeking low-hanging fruit, easy meals, and that this doesn't look like it should be something to worry about. But that, yes, Nord's blessings upon you, and this will keep you safe. The town is blessed. They thank you so much for letting Nord's love shine down and for being there, because as many of the villagers reach out and thank you and shake your hand as you start heading back towards the gate, it does seem as if they are very much aware that maybe without you being here, this might have been an issue that would have lasted longer, and that they thank Nord for sending his fairies to deal with a problem. So that will take you there. It'll take you about there in an hour to come back. You know that with them having been there for check-in, you don't have to necessarily worry so much about time, so you can take your time walking. You don't have to like run. So it'll take you about an hour and a half to get there and back to the gate. At the gate, with the colonel leading the check-in, you see him talking into a camera that is mounted on the MELP probe that had been sent through, giving a rundown of what had happened, some information regarding the townspeople and what had happened with the Jaffa. He was told by the general to make sure to bring back a couple of the bodies of the Jaffa that were there, as well as the weapons they were carrying. So those weapons could be added to the armory for future use. He then recounted the tale about the shark, and he is informed that on their arrival back through the gate, they are expecting them shortly. Medical will be there and waiting to take anyone who is injured to sickbay. At which point, it's just a wait until both Buddy and Brada arrive back at the gate.
Do they want the shark?
The town did not want the shark. They did not say anything about the shark. They considered it a bad omen from a god called Agir. Ager. Agir?
I was more talking the military
I've pronounced
base.
a couple different. I've heard it Ager before as well.
Ager, yeah. Anyone who knows a lot, I couldn't find when I was looking this up online, I couldn't find a strict pronunciation guide like I did for Nord. So if anybody wants to correct us, please let us know. We don't want to say it wrong all the time for future references. But no, the base did not give any indication that they wanted the shark in any capacity.
Too bad. I start to roll it off the side. Yeah.
Easily done. It is rolled into the sea.
Be free.
It's a at which point as the connection back to Phoenix Command is established, the MALP is sent through first, followed by your team as you arrive back at Phoenix home base. The Colonel, Captain Dune, and Guy are all bundled onto medical beds and rolled away as the general comes down and addresses both Barada and Buddy. Captain Barada, I understand that most of your party is currently indisposed. Fun incident with a shark. I'll expect typed mission reports from you, Captain, and the other members of the Air Force. Brada, if you'd like to write up a mission report as well, you can detail your experiences. We would love to hear from you. Otherwise, we'll meet in the morning at 0800 hours to have a full mission debriefing. Hopefully that'll give them some time to rest up a little bit before coming in.
You can't see, but in the bed, medical bed, I'm writing up my report. I'm getting stitched up in the leg at the same time, but it's a local anesthetic. It's fine. I'm still writing.
It's fine. You're still lucid.
Hey, I'll write a report if you want me to, man. I'll be glad to.
The colonel just looks over. No, it's
Might
Air
be
Force.
kind of long.
Air Force personnel only. You don't. You don't. Air Force personnel only. You don't have. It's okay.
Sometimes
Thank
I'm
you.
a little long-winded.
Thank you.
You got
Thank
like
you.
a journal, like a big one of the spiral. I saw it. It was cool.
Doc, can you just morphine? Just all the morphine you need. Just.
He can share my report.
At
By
which
the way,
point,
okay.
that will bring us to the close of our pilot episode. Thank you so much for joining us and all of Multiverse Pros as we played through the first episode, our pilot episode of our Stargate RPG beta test. Another big thank you to CEO Brad Ellis.
Hey guys, I just wanted to come on live real quick and want to thank Elena and her Multiverse Pros crew. You can find them over on Twitch for other adventures. They will be back tomorrow night to do some more adventures as well. She's got a second game that she'll be running. But before that, we have a episode that will be running at 10 a.m. Pacific time in the morning. We're going to have some special guests there. Actually, Elaine will be back, but this time as a player. We're also going to have a very special guest of Mr. David Hewlett, and that'll be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So look forward to that. Join us here. You'll be able to find it on the Discord channel at Comic-Con or on the Wiring Gaming YouTube channel. Again, thanks for all for joining us.